The importance and contribution of Leonard Paul Evans to the Australian wine industry can never be underestimated. 3 letters probably sum it up: AOOBE. Hello, I'm Ian Riggs and I am a trustee of the Len Evans Foundation. My fellow trustees being James Halliday, Sally Evans, Brian Croser and Basil Sellers. We run the foundation, which then runs the Len Evans Tutorial. And we do rely on industry support to keep this fantastic foundation and wine school operational every year. The aim of the Len Evans Tutorial through the fundraising of the foundation is to educate Australia's up-and-coming wine industry people, not just winemakers, but wine media, retailers, restaurateurs, really anyone who has a passion for the wine industry. The week-long tutorial is divided basically into 3 parts, all of them enjoyable. The first session, or the first part that we look at, is judging wine. So these are served blind, 30 wines in each bracket across Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon. Next we have afternoon masterclasses, which is an open book tasting. So the scholars know the wines they're tasting, and it's more about learning from James Halliday or Ian McKenzie, who does the Champagne Masterclass. The dinner sessions are just that, great wines served with food. The wines are still masked, so the scholars don't get a night off, they still have to concentrate, but these are wines that even the tutors would rarely see. These are the great wines of the world, quite often served in brackets of 2, 3 or 4 wines. So we're talking aged Bordeaux, aged Burgundy. One of the features is always an aged Australian red bracket, might be from the 50s or 1960s, an aged Hunter red bracket, again from the 1950s or 1960s. The culmination of a week of tasting great wines finishes with the DRC Masterclass on Friday mornings. These are the world's greatest Burgundies, and a rare opportunity to see one vintage and all 6 vineyards lined up side by side. Hard work, but the scholars do have James Halliday talking them through the wines. The task of the 12 scholars on the Friday morning is to identify the vintage and the vineyards of the DRC bracket that's presented to them. You talk to any of the past scholars and many will all say that this Len Evans Tutorial week was the greatest week of their life.
It was such an amazing week, just being able to have a look at all these incredible wines side by side, lots of older vintages, wines that we would never normally be able to taste.
Some of the wines and the access to these wines will never ever be found again. So it's mind-blowing. It's just an epic experience, and something that I think, if you have the opportunity to be sitting on that table of 12 people, it's definitely something you can try and get into.
The story, it's just amazing week, and I didn't expect anything like this. I came to learn and to know a bit more about Australian wine as well, but to having some bracket of older wine and make you think as well. Sometimes you taste wine and you go through, but here it was a lot of thinking and knowledge, of one maybe I know, I've seen it before, and we see some older vintage as well. Just I was blown away, and a very good bunch of people as well in the same time.
They've been exposed to some of the great wines of the world. They've made new friends, they've understood wine show judging, and they go away with a lasting impression of where Australian wine quality sits in the world. The highlight of the week comes on Friday lunchtime when the Dux of the Len Evans Tutorial is announced. Most of the points for the Dux come from the 4 judging sessions, but of course the evening sessions, participation in masterclasses and the final DRC tasting all go towards determining the Dux. So the Qantas Dux of the Len Evans Tutorial is a very prestigious award. They not only get a business return trip to Europe and entree to many of the great chateaux of Europe, but they do get entree into the Australian wine show system. More information about how to apply or how to support the Len Evans Tutorial, please click on the links below. Or click on the About section of this video.